Daddy, why are we getting up so early? It's only 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, son, something big is happening, and a reporter like your father needs to be where the action is.
I understand.
Even though virtual worlds remove physical boundaries and challenge one to rethink community, the playing field is not yet completely leveled.
The one barrier between people that Second Life and virtual worlds more generally does not flatten out is the time zone problem. It's really, I think, in a sense, in a very inspiring way, it's the only problem.
Linden Lab founder and former CEO Philip Rosedale was one panelist who took his bike to a Wi-Fi zone and joined an illustrious bunch to celebrate the 1-year Second Life anniversary of employment services giant Manpower. The event was hosted by Dancing Inc. Productions and moderated by Eureka Deja Vu, aka Rita J. King, who also authored the report Power of Collaboration.
Good morning to our roundtable participants, in-world audience, and our internet audience. 6 a.m. SLT may not be early for some of you in the global audience, but we know it's early for Philip Rosedale, and we appreciate him joining us here in this world that he created.
Broadcaster SLCN looked on from the outside in as Manpower CEO Jeff Joerres offered this anecdote about his first encounter with SL.
This is when children definitely pay off. My 11-year-old son was spending too much time on something called the World of Warcraft. My 13-year-old son had his favorite team for Halo, and not one of his teammates were from the United States. Like any kind of good parent, you're wondering why my son is talking to himself in the basement.
Instead of banning all gaming consoles from the house, Joerres realized that his company should start experimenting with the new medium. Over 60% of the people Manpower puts to work are between the ages of 18 and 32, a group truly native to the environment. This demographic, says Harvard Business School professor Linda Applegate, will be able to take full advantage of virtual worlds.
Personal expectations and goals were often fueled by parents, teachers, society's expectations. It definitely limited most young people from considering entrepreneurial careers. Today, young people, and even those of us who aren't so young, are approaching careers in a much more entrepreneurial way.
Dominique, Turcq, president of Boost Zone Consulting, studies the workspace of these digital natives and is convinced that the cubicle will be replaced by the internet cafe as legitimate alternative. He calls that
Starbucks 2.0, physical places where people will meet outside of the office. This will challenge the nature of interaction between individuals. This will also have profound implications on the relationship between work and the physical location of the worker, leading probably to a different breed of migrant people.
One hopes the scenario will not be as dystopian as imagined by Alex Rivera in his movie Sleep Dealer, where laborers are held in a facility in Mexico to supplement a shortage of construction workers in the U.S. To prevent such dark visions from becoming reality, socially responsible companies must seek equal opportunity for workers. But the starting point for fair labor and work policies is respect for others and their cultural origins. Dr. Jonathon Orr of the Orr Institute found that conversations about diversity are much easier to initiate and maintain in virtual worlds.
One of the greatest supports for multiculturalism is curiosity, the ability to wonder about somebody else, lessen our defenses, to approach someone who may appear different than us or be from a different socioeconomic status, a different racial identity group.
Senior Vice President of Global Workforce Strategy at Manpower, Tammy Johns, confirms that the many visitors to Manpower Island feel very comfortable opening up about themselves. She attributes this to
the people who are working on the island are extremely culturally sensitive, one, because of the globalness of our company, but also because they interact with so many cultures, and it gives them the opportunity to share with them what culturalism means to the world of work.
Since work is so fundamental in the construction of a person's identity, society needs to examine the role assigned to the physically and mentally disabled. Alice Kruger, who leads the Virtual Ability Group in SL under the name of Gentle Heron, says the platform has given the handicapped greater access.
There are a lot of tasks that can be done in a virtual world that don't require physical access, manual dexterity, strength, may not even require us to work 8 hours straight. They may allow us to work when our energy is high and then take a break when we need to do that.
On Manpower Island, the company whose core values read people, innovation, and knowledge seems to stay one step ahead of the natural evolution of this immersive space as Second Life is playing out its strengths. Dan Darrow is the virtual world's liaison for Manpower.
A lot of companies have decided to either leave Second Life or somewhat abandon their presence. Manpower having a one-year celebration is exactly the opposite of that, reaffirming our commitment to Second Life and the exploration of virtual worlds.
Linda Lab founder Philip Rosedale agrees that 3D spaces and SL in particular are slowly finding their groove.
The really positive impact of the virtual world is in its ability to enable collaborative work. We're just seeing the emergence of collaborative work as a really significant change agent.
Indeed, but before I undertake any more collaborative work, I think I'll slip in a little R&R. I'm Draxtor for Dancing Inc. Productions.